Coming up on Sports Sunday, time for a break, an all-star break for the Astros on a 103-win pace after an incredible win today.
The Astros walk it off, 11-10.
And I'm Ari Alexander live in Cleveland for All-Star Week with the Astros. First up, Alex Bregman. He's in tomorrow's Home Run Derby, and he tells us his key to taking home the prize.
And this NBA offseason is out of control. How strong is the wide-open West now? Are the Rockets still in the title picture? Sports Talk 790's Matt Thomas joins us to discuss. And no surprise here, the women's national team finishes off the World Cup in style to remain on top.
So get off your feet, stand up and cheer. Sports Sunday starts now.
Live from KPRC Channel 2, this is Sports Sunday, presented by Nissan.
Speaking of getting up, the biggest NBA offseason news broke in the wee hours yesterday morning. Kawhi Leonard not only decided to join the Clippers, but he convinced Paul George to force a trade from OKC to join him there. What a wild offseason. Welcome to Sports Sunday. Alongside Lainey Fritz, I'm Adam Wexler.
It's been a wild week overall with this free agency craziness. Still waiting for something of note from the Rockets. We're going to talk about that later on. But the Astros hit the All-Star break in very good shape. So we'll head out to Cleveland to talk to the All-Stars very shortly. But let's start downtown with a crazy series ending with a crazy last game today. All-Star jerseys handed out to the 6 Astros now in Cleveland. Early offense from the Angels. They led 7-2 after 4 innings. The biggest blast came from Shohei Ohtani, just about 400 feet with this 2-run shot to center.
Mike Trout also homered twice, but almost turned into the play of the season defensively. He goes up to Rob Jose Altuve and narrowly misses it. He fooled everybody on his way down when he grabbed it barehanded, but that helped to set up this. That's Yuli Gurriel. La Pina, franchise record, 8 Grand Slams this season for the team. His 9th homer in 11 games.
So game tied at 10 in the 8th. Watch what happens on this fly ball from Springer.
First, I stuck the Trout homer in there.
Oh,
my apologies.
No big deal there. Okay, here we go. 8th inning, fly ball from Springer. And watch what happens. That is Jake Marisnick to head home. And the collision, LaCroix looks knocked out. Marisnick is called safe, but then after the review, because of the contact there, LaCroix would leave on a cart. He was ruled out, Marisnick, so they did not get the run, checked for a concussion, on to the 10th inning.
Springer would end it there. Finally, that single, they know they can't get Josh Reddick coming around. 11-10 the final. Another series win as this team heads into the All-Star break.
I think the way that the team fought all half, but with a lot of us getting hurt, guys really stepped up, and that's what it's all about in this locker room. For us to be in the position now is obviously great, but we still got 50-something more games to go.
50-something, like you said.
50, 70,
somewhere around
whatever.
There. Close enough. The standings of the division at the break. Astros still with a 7.5 game lead on the A's and 9 up on the Rangers. Houston has 10 games against them before the end of the month.
All right, it is All-Star break time, so we have an opportunity to go visit with the Astros All-Stars. Let's take the show out to Cleveland. We got you covered there for the next 3 days.
Yep, KPRC Channel 2's Ari Alexander is live outside Progressive Field. Ari, a lot of excitement with 6 Astros All-Stars once again getting the call this season.
Yeah, hey guys, welcome to Cleveland. Progressive Field here as we are outside the Indian Stadium where All-Star festivities will take place all week. And of course, 6 Astros will suit up for those All-Star festivities. We got to talk to the guys this week about why they're excited to play in the All-Star game or just be here, including one guy who's coming home in Michael Brantley.
I'm humbled and I'm really thankful that I'm able to go. I think it's a tremendous event that brings players into the national spotlight that otherwise other markets may not be able to see.
Kind of just be around guys who you either play with or against all year. So, you get to spend some time with the best of the best. And
looking forward to seeing Mike's return to Cleveland. Looking forward to seeing Presley's first time there.
I've always appreciated what Cleveland done for me in my career to get me to Houston. And I just look forward to, enjoying the experience, enjoying the moment with the fans.
Yeah, and speaking of guys that it's a really big honor for, Ryan Pressly hasn't been an Astro for a long time, but he's got a chance to play in the All-Star game. He's really reaped the benefits of what it means to play in Houston. They've changed around the way he throws, and now for the first time, he's an All-Star, and we got to catch up with him this week as well.
God, can't even explain it. You know, it was an out-of-body experience, definitely. You know, being told that you're an all-star, it's something that as a kid you look up to try to be, and you know, I'm so unbelievably blessed and honored to be selected.
It's good to see Ryan Pressly get in the game there, guys.
A first-time All-Star, no doubt he will enjoy his visit to the All-Star game. One quick question. We heard from Brantley and a couple of his teammates. Did you get a sense in talking to these guys this week how big a deal this is for Brantley, an All-Star, going back to Cleveland?
Yeah, I think they really try to downplay it, but you can tell that they're excited for him, and you can tell really guys that where they cut their teeth in a career and they get to go back there and play an All-Star game in front of a crowd that loves them. I think it's important to them, and they try to downplay it, but you can tell they're excited for their guy. And coming up next, also, don't forget, Alex Bregman is going to be in the Home Run Derby on Monday night. We've got a good story coming up on what it means to Bregman and how he's trying to find a way to win that Derby.
All right, appreciate it, Ari. So we'll talk to you again in about 8 minutes here or so.
Leonard leads Toronto to the NBA championship.
Well, that was June 13th. Only 24 days later, Kawhi Leonard's a Clipper, and he has Paul George set to join him. Well, that move, just one of the latest spectacularly large NBA offseason news we've been following. Joining us to discuss it all, Matt Thomas from Sports Talk 790 from the Matt Thomas Show. Appreciate you joining us.
Yeah, it's aptly named. Thank you very much.
Well done. Well, this was a bombshell. We thought Kawhi might end up there. We didn't think Paul George would join him there. Your thoughts?
Totally shocked by the Paul George aspect of it all. And the best part of it was the Lakers knew it, the Raptors knew it, the Clippers knew it, but nobody else did. And that's why it was such a bombshell on Saturday morning.
Well, my thought is now how many super teams are there and how much stronger can the West get? But I'm loving it because before, you know, you had the Warriors and then kind of everyone else. And now you have like half the league and then a big separation and then everybody else. And I think it's going to make things really exciting. My question is, where do the Rockets stand in all this?
That's really the question that I know we'll be talking about on the radio all week or weeks to come. The Rockets have re-signed 3 of their own. They really haven't done much else, although there was very little for them to do. What could they have done, or what might they do moving forward?
The best thing is the Russell Westbrook rumors are out there.
Yeah,
now, again,
it's all they are, man. Come on.
But I'm all into this. I love hearing about the Rockets involved with anybody. And the bottom line is this. If you get the best player in the trade, you win the trade. That's what I said 2 years ago with Chris Paul. Now, clearly there's a lot of folks that think that Russ carries a lot of baggage with him. I'm all in because here's the thing I've learned about Paul George and Kyrie Irving and also Kawhi Leonard and everybody else, LeBron James. This is a superstars league. You must build a team full of superstars.
Maybe Westbrook is looking around the rest of the league in the West and thinking that he needs to team up with a team like the Rockets if he wants to win a championship. What do you think about that?
I just think salary-wise, it's a big old mess, and that's why I think teams like Miami probably have a little more credence to this possibility.
We'll bring it back to the 2 stars that are currently here in Houston, and we've moved a little bit past the crazy rumors of their hatred for one another. Chris Paul, James Harden, their relationship is fill in the blank.
Workmanlike. Nobody expects them to be best friends, right? Do you want them to be best friends? I mean, it'd be nice. But are you telling me that LeBron James got along with everybody he played with in Miami? Do you think that Kobe and Shaq got along in Los Angeles all those years? I just don't want them to hate each other. Are they going to have different philosophies about how to run the offense and who should do what? Both have a great argument for each side. It's up to Mike D'Antoni and the Rockets front office to say, look, I see your point, I also see your point. But at the end of the day, they're still very good together.
What are your top 4 teams in the West?
Well, I think you still have to go to the Los Angeles Clippers. They made the move of the offseason, period, end of story. Look at the Utah Jazz. Mike Conley, a noticeable upgrade over the other point guard that was
Ricky
there.
Rubio.
Well, yeah. And then they got the other kid that was the point forward.
Bojan Bogdanovic.
I knew you knew all these names off the top of your head. How do you discount the Lakers? You get Anthony Davis, and then, of course, the Rockets still pretty darn good, especially because I am a Clint Capella fan and an Eric Gordon fan. Those guys are still here. Still makes it a formidable top 5.
All right, Lainey, you're 4.
Okay, Houston, don't hate me. I don't have Rockets in my top 4, okay? But Lakers, I'm sorry, but LeBron teamed up with any star, let alone AD and Boogie. I think, hands down, I'm not betting against LeBron. Clippers, like you said, I like all the moves that they made. And then even without the big names that we're talking about, you think about Lou Williams and Pat Beverly. I mean, that bench, that whole team is insane. Warriors, they're staying in my top 4 because I know better than to bet against them. And Blazers, I still think Damian Lillard's going to hold it down on his own.
He wants to be the all-time greatest. My list is similar to yours, Matt. A couple of flip-flops. I think the Jazz were just unbelievably successful with what they're trying to build around Donovan Mitchell. Like Laney said, the Clippers are loaded. I also think the Rockets are absolutely still in the mix. It's going to be tougher to blow teams out like they were doing in the second half of the season because everybody's so good. And then the Lakers there with AD, Boogie, as you said, joining LeBron. But the key is there's probably 5 or 6 teams that could all be roughly the same. Laney said earlier this should be a fun NBA season because of that.
And it's crazy. The number 2 seed Denver Nuggets not in our group. The Blazers are going to the Western Finals.
I thought one of you guys would have Denver possibly.
I wanted to put them in there, but I couldn't get them in.
And by the way, invite me back in 2 weeks because we're going to shuffle all these up again.
We'll see if the Rockets can do something that makes that change. Probably a smaller move. But Matt, we really appreciate the time. Be listening to you weekdays on Sports Talk 790.
And the show after mine is pretty good too.
I got a great lead in. Thanks, buddy. That's what it sounded like in Edo near BBVA Stadium as the women's national team was taking care of business this morning. The fans in France were ready for this one as they were going for a World Cup championship. 7 wins in the month would get it done. And well, when Megan Rapinoe gets to take a penalty shot in the World Cup, it usually ends up like this. In the back of the net, it did again. We've seen a celebration like this a couple times before.
Yeah, then check out Rose Lavelle with the beautiful strike. This puts them up 2-0, and it's time to celebrate for real. They repeat as World Cup champs, 4th title overall. Here's some of that celebration. I love it. They win like champs. They celebrate like champs. All right, still to come on Sports Sunday. On the eve of the Home Run Derby, we'll take a look at the Astros' history in the big event. Go back live to Ari in Cleveland straight ahead.
Plus, coming up, he's had 1 year in charge at Rice. What's next for Owls football coach Mike Bloomgren in year 2 as he builds for the future? I sit down with the Rice boss next on Sports Sunday.
This is Sports Sunday, presented by Nissan.
Welcome back to Sports Sunday and welcome to All-Star Week. Last season, it was all about Alex Bregman. He won All-Star Game MVP honors in his first All-Star appearance. And of course, he's back again this season and back in the Home Run Derby.
He sure is. You know he's going to want to perform there. Time to send it back out to Cleveland. Ari back and joining us again. The confident, big stage Alex Bregman ready to dazzle again. Isn't that right?
Yeah, guys, we're still here in Cleveland. Cleveland still rocks. Drew Carey still hanging out there. Alex Bregman, the 11th Astro ever to participate in the Home Run Derby, and no Astro has ever won the thing. So this year, Alex Bregman, to try to win it, is aiming lower. Take a look.
Oh, that one may tie it.
And listen to this crowd right now.
Alex Bregman will hit in back-to-back home run derbies for the 2nd time in Astros history.
But here's one of the most prolific hitters in the National League, if not the most.
The only other Astro, Jeff Bagwell, had less than stellar performances in 96 and 97.
Have the Astros found a groove with...
In fact, outside of Lance Berkman, who nearly won the thing at Minute Maid in 2004, the Astros haven't done well in the Derby, and Bregman is looking to change that.
Hopefully make it out of the first round. That's goal. That's the goal. Make it out of the first round, and then who knows what can happen after that.
He'll have to get through Jock Peterson of the LA Dodgers in the first round.
I like him as a player. I think he's a really good player. He has a lot of power. He's going to hit the ball a lot further than I do.
Then it's a field full of mashers, guys like Mets rookie Pete Alonso.
Alonso has done it again.
And a possible second-round matchup with 2007 Derby champ Vlad Guerrero's son, Vladito.
Deep to left field and gone.
But Bregman isn't phased. He's got a plan.
Hit them lower so they land quicker so I can get more swings than everybody else. That's the strategy.
And he's got a handful of teammates there to support him.
I think Alex is just Alex. Alex is very confident in himself, as he should be, and it kind of rubs off on us. You know, he likes a good run at it last year. You know, stuff like that's fun. That's what it's about. You know, to go on and cheer a guy like him on.
Just like last year. And of course, there's always that trademark confidence.
He's got some, probably.
Yeah, so if you missed that, that was George Springer in the clubhouse yelling, "Hey, Alex, are you going to win the Derby?" And his response, of course, is probably, which, of course, I love the confidence. And then I like the idea of low liners. You get more swings. Now it's time limited, not just 10 outs. So I think he's got a good shot tomorrow against Jock Peterson and beyond. And, of course, we'll be live all day throughout the day from here in Cleveland. Reporting live at Progressive Field, Ari Alexander, KPRC Channel 2 Sports.
Thanks, Ari. Appreciate all that. Look forward to that tomorrow. College football, believe it or not, camps will be open. And at Rice, it's year 2 for head coach Mike Bloomgren. Some growing pains a year ago, but now after a full offseason, progress he believes is coming quickly. I sat down with Bloomgren recently at Hop Dottie for a burger, for lunch near campus to talk about, well, everything.
Difference, maybe the biggest difference, coming in the way you did, year 1, getting everything rolling on the fly, compared to what's been going on this offseason?
Year 2 is better in every regard. Just having something to go back and say, what did we do last year? And was it excellent, or can we improve it? And just having that base and really not being surprised by something coming around the corner has just been so nice, and keeping 9 out of 10 of our coaches intact. I love our staff.
With his feet planted firmly underneath him this offseason, the ability to host football camps for elite talent in the area has been huge.
It means everything to get those guys on campus. I think, I can't remember who said it, but I heard it said that you can't sell somebody a car if you don't get them on the lot. And for the Adidas camp, having 500 plus and coaches from Miami to University of Washington, Arizona State, and everywhere in between, just drew some of the best out to come on our campus and compete. And we're getting in the game on guys that, we never could have got on campus, and they see our facility, they get around our coaches and our players, and now it's like, yeah, maybe I will check them out.
Those facilities they have now, as Bloomgren said, it's night and day compared to how things used to be.
Having that facility in the north end zone, right by the practice field, you walk out one door of the locker room, you're in the practice field, the coaches' offices, the meeting rooms on the second floor. It is really like everything a student athlete needs right there. And now we're adding the bubble this fall. So having that indoor is going to be huge.
Ready to go for fall?
Sounds like it. We're rocking and rolling. That thing's being built, and I can't wait.
How do you set goals? What are they for the upcoming season?
First off, we're going to call it year 0 if you'll let us.
But yeah,
setting goals is really easy. I want them to fight to get better every day. And it sounds so simplistic, but it's so real. I think so many times we get caught into competing against, am I the best one in the linebacker room? Am I the best one on the team or the best one in the conference? And it's like, no. Let's be the best version you could ever be yourself. Let's fight that every day to make sure we're taking those steps. Because we're going to be happy. I mean, we're recruiting guys that are talented enough. And again, they're babies in major college football world, but they've also got some games under their belt, and we're ready to unleash them.
The Owls will be unleashed with eyes wide open, considering the challenge of the first 4 opponents right out of the gate next season.
It is not for the faint of heart. There is no doubt about that. But here's the thing. The way our kids are working and how they're taking the challenge to heart and running the way they are every day and working the way they are every day, there's nobody I'd rather go into those games with right now in this group. And now you're going to bring in 40 newbies, and they're going to learn how we work, and they're going to learn what the right standard is, and that they have to reach it every day or they're going to be held accountable. So again, I just love the leadership we have, and I love how we're working.
You like having Texas on the schedule?
I do. Absolutely. Coming at your alma mater.
Sounds good.
NRG.
I mean, you want to see these teams. These are the teams, all the kids that are looking at Rice, thinking about where they want to go, other places they might, those are those teams.
It is, and it's really for two reasons. I saw the value of going into Tiger Stadium and standing toe with those guys. Although the scoreboard didn't look the way any of us wanted it to, just to fight and realize we can stand on the field with those guys.
Bloomgren being back in Houston also gets the same thrill we all do, enjoying the Friday night lights and building the relationships with the high school coaches here in the area.
Seeing these unbelievable coaches coach these unbelievable kids and getting to see that product, it's so fun. I would, if I retire, when I retire, I should say.
Be a good place to end up?
Oh my gosh, to watch that caliber of football every Friday night would be pretty dream-worthy.
He feels good about the recruiting footprint they're starting to stamp out here at home.
As much as we are committed to the national recruiting model, because we have to be from an academic standpoint, we are never going to leave this backyard. It's always going to be our primary focus. And DFW has been good to us as well, but just the state of Texas and the way these coaches work, their off-season programs, it's awesome.
Good meal. Appreciate it, Coach. Still ahead on Sports Sunday. The biggest story at Wimbledon is a 15-year-old star in the making, and she's into week 2. More on Coco Gauff's fantastic run coming up.
But first, the U.S. men playing on the pitch against Mexico, playing for the Gold Cup title. Highlights from that. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
Pizarro's cross. Jimenez brought it down. Jimenez dos Santos, and off the bar. It was coming from Mexico.
It sure was, and that was the scene of Mets Gold Cup title game. Mexico's Jonathan Dos Santos scores in the 73rd minute, and that would be all they needed. They defeat the United States. They win their 8th Gold Cup title. We've had nothing other than that, but great stories for America here in the show tonight, including in England at Wimbledon this past week.
I know, I'm proud to be an American tonight.
How about that? Good week to have it, right?
Yes. The introduction of 15-year-old Coco Gauff to the tennis world, and it all began Monday with a match against none other than her idol.
Absolutely. Had to win 3 qualifying matches just to get in, and then pulled off that huge upset of tennis legend Venus Williams, someone she's looked up to for years, and it was a straight set knockoff for Gauff. A little bit in disbelief. Moving on.
Yeah, some thought the ride might actually end there, but instead, 2 more wins, and she is still going. A huge comeback in her round 3 match on Friday, and this crowd at Wimbledon is totally behind her as her magical run continues.
Even when I was down match point, the people were in the crowd were behind me every step of the way, and that's something I really appreciated during the match. I've won 3 matches now, so I think I kind of proved my own.
Okay, so while the rest of the Astros are on a break, we'll be in Cleveland. Ari Alexander covering the 6 All-Stars there playing the All-Star game.
Yep, Tuesday night's All-Star game, home run derby tomorrow night. See if Bregman can go maybe more than 15 homers and advance. We got it all covered for you. Appreciate you joining us tonight.